Hello and welcome to M Creates, where we solve problems with great design. So today is going to be a little bit of a chatty video. I'm going to take you through how I became a graphic designer, the kind of work that I've done previously, and a bit of a journey of kind of my life so far and to how I've got here. So sit tight, it's going to be a bit of a chatty one and let's get going. So trying to stay in this century, when I was at school I absolutely loved glitter. Everyone knew me as the girl who, when we had like cut and sticking and like colouring time, I would always use glitter. I'm sure my mum and my teachers absolutely hated it, but I loved it. And that kind of evolved into kind of home as well. I guess when we were younger we all had crayons, paints, etc. And I really loved it. I'd take my pencil for a walk and fill in like the little gaps. That was kind of the epitome of entertainment in the late 90s, early 2000s. So that was really, I guess, how my parents knew I was quite creative. And so in secondary school, after trying out all of the kind of different creative things in the first 3 years, like kind of like wood tech, graphic design, food tech as well, I chose graphic design as my GCSE. That was really fun. It was 2 years of just Photoshop. They didn't really introduce us to anything outside of that, so we were very Photoshop driven, and I got all my Photoshop skills I probably know today from secondary school and college. And so starting at college, I knew design was something that I really wanted to do, so I chose, like, my 4 options were English, history, Spanish and graphic design. Ended up dropping Spanish after the first year. Really loved graphic design. It was kind of the first time that I guess creative boundaries were broken a little bit. We kind of got given some cameras to take out one day. We were encouraged to explore different mediums and stuff. So we did some printing, screen printing, lino printing, everything like that, which was just absolutely fascinating. I loved it. It was very stressful. We had I think it was a new project every week that we had to do, or like a new project every 2 weeks. So it was very full on. Every spare minute I had, I'd be going back to the graphic studio on the Macs and like doing some extra bits here and there, and absolutely loved it. I would have loved to do it at university, but my graphic design tutor said that I was too organised to be a designer. My sketchbooks were immaculate, so I'd have like sectioned off like sketches in one bit and kind of collages in another and mood boards in another section, and apparently that was too organised. He did encourage me to do graphic design at university, but then I was speaking with a kind of career advisor when we apply for university here in the UK, and they were like, yeah, well, you know, art and design is very subjective, so it's quite difficult to get a job or get into university for it. I was like, oh, that's a great way of telling me that my work isn't good enough. And this is from someone who probably didn't do design. They were like a career advisor, so they probably don't have a deep, in-depth knowledge of all subjects anyway. So, of course, I chose not to do graphic design at university, even though it was my best A-level. I got an A, the others I all got Bs. I decided to do English literature, which isn't very creative at all. So university starts, I'm doing my English literature degree. There is a university magazine which needs contributors, so I signed up to help start writing for them. A year later I became the features editor, so I was editing a specific section of the magazine, so that involved writing, editing, but also some designing as well. So for a couple of years I was designing magazine spreads, magazine covers, which really kept my creative juices flowing on the design side of things, and I absolutely loved it. This is something that I took into my first job out of university. I worked for a small magazine based in Wales, and on top of like the sales there was also like writing blog posts, and I used to design the adverts. So it was basically like an advertising magazine that you get through your front door with like loads of local companies, and if they didn't have like design advert work, I would make it for them. So there was a lot of different businesses that I did that for. That's where I also started getting involved in social media management as well. We used to do like Facebook and Twitter posts for some of our clients, which was really great fun, great insight into the kind of local communities, smaller businesses and how to make them grow, which was fantastic. Then I guess I took a bit of a hiatus from design when I moved back from Wales to London again. I worked for a couple of years in recruitment, so it wasn't design focused really at all, but it did teach me so much about people and communication. Great design is one thing, but being able to communicate and kind of tug on emotions and get kind of what makes people tick is something completely different. So it was good to get that aspect of life and the world, and I think that's probably really improved my graphics a lot. Eventually I just got tired of the hard work and like never switching off from recruitment because it's sales and I was basically working really late nights like every day. And so just before lockdown 2020 I started a new role in project and change management. So this is a kind of internal transformation programs within businesses. Joined just before lockdown, so it's a really strange time to start a new job, but with all the spare time that I had, I wasn't put on furlough, which I'm so thankful for, but for all the spare time that I had kind of outside of work, I decided to get my watercolours out a bit more and do some more painting, and then I put that on Instagram and I thought, oh, I could do more design on Instagram. And so Creates really kind of escalated from there, having lots of free time to get to know Illustrator a bit more, get to know the video applications as well. It was like so fun and a bit of an escape from the weird new reality that COVID lockdowns had. And of course, in the role that I'm in now, word got out that I do graphic design and I have an understanding of Adobe applications, so I've actually been involved quite a lot with design in small aspects. So I helped design some banners for the COVID measures that were in our offices. I helped design posters for a new mobile application, and I even did like a landing page for India's payslip site. So it's great to still be able to bring that skill into my current day job as well as do it outside. So I'm really lucky that the company I work for really does have that creative freedom a little bit. And so now I work my 9 to 5 project and change management, and outside of that I'm either designing for Creates clients, or I'm trampolining or trampoline coaching as well. So I've got quite a lot on, but I love being busy and I love the opportunity to speak to so many businesses like I do with Creates. A lot of my clients have been word of mouth referrals. I've had a couple of people come direct through Instagram and websites on a kind of regular basis. So to be honest, I don't know how it's happened, it kind of just happened. I post on Instagram fairly regularly and I have YouTube, but yeah, when starting out I think word of mouth has been the best kind of way to get more clients, and to be honest that works with life. It's like who you know rather than what you know, and people generally, if you do a good job for them, will refer you to someone else. So if you're struggling with that, keep cracking on at it, the clients will come. I hope that provided some useful insight. Do you need a graphic design degree to become a graphic designer? No. Can you be self-taught? Yes. Does it help to have some educational background in design principles? Definitely, yes it does, but with the way the world is now, you can kind of sign up with Skillshare, there's so much stuff on YouTube, and kind of learning from your friends and books as well. We forget that they exist sometimes. So, moral of the story, it doesn't matter whether you do graphic design at uni or not. You can choose your own path with design and creativity, whether you're an artist like a painter or a designer or something completely different. Pick it up in your free time, learn as much as you can from other people and from the resources you have available, and the world is your oyster. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching this week, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe for any design related tips and content, and I will see you next week. Bye.